Just give me a moment while I do that, and then quickly introduce the session to you. Ryan, hi. Aryan, hi. Nice to have you. Yeah, just leave in your introductions here. That'll be great. Yes. We're also live on both of these platforms. So in case you are watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn, just leave us a quick hi on the live chat. Remember, you'll be interacting with us here. Yes. So we're all here to obviously understand, what a machine learning engineer really does in a day. But what else do we want to cover? We want to help you first understand what are the skill set, what is the skill set that is required for someone to become a machine learning engineer? How does one really collaborate with all the different cross-functional teams? And of course, as a part of that, you will understand what these people do on a day-to-day basis. And yes, and towards the end, we'll also help you understand how you can start if you're new to machine learning. Okay. And we'll take you through the enrollment steps for the Purdue University professional certificate in AI and machine learning. So we're going to do that over the session today, and we're going to wrap up the session with some Q&A. I know you might be having questions based on whatever we cover in the live session. So make sure you put them in the Q&A box, and we'll take them, as and when we find it relevant. But do not worry if we don't call out your name specifically or we don't follow these questions in a certain order. We will make sure that all questions are answered. Yeah. So I might just not want to interrupt the session because we're discussing something else. So I will reserve your question for towards the end of the session. Yeah. So in case you are, wondering if this session is going to be recorded or what we're going to do, yes, it is going to be recorded, and the recording will be shared with the audience on Zoom over an email tomorrow. Yeah. So do not worry if you miss anything or all of that. Just ensure that you're 100% there, you're 100% here to understand what a machine learning does. Machine learning engineer does. Sorry. Right. So we want to understand you guys a little more than what we already did. So what we want to know is your professional background. So I'm going to be launching a bunch of these polls, asking your preference, again, knowing what your interests are. And we might also be doing this on the chat. So just make sure you're really interactive. I'm just going to launch this poll right here, which asks you two questions, actually. One that describes your current, level in AI, first one. And the second one is your current job role. Okay. I've split job roles, in the understanding that I have. You may not be exactly fitting into necessarily into these four functions, but whatever is the closest, just make sure you choose that. And the first question is to more understand about where you are in terms of knowing about machine learning or AI. Yeah, so if you're a fresher, totally fine. I didn't include that option, assuming all of you would be working. But if you're a fresher, just let us know on the chat. Well, that's not a problem. Or just choose your domain, whatever domain you are in. You could be an engineer, you could be, an MBA student or a BBA student or whatever. Just make sure you choose, the domain that you're a part of. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes, just keep the responses coming in. Also, audience on LinkedIn, audience on YouTube, give us your responses here. Great. Great. I'm just going to end the poll right here and share these results with Roopam. Just make sure the next time I launch a poll, you're done within a minute. Roopam, I'm sure you're able to see these results. A lot of them are just starting to explore machine learning. And yeah, more than half of them actually belong to tech and product roles. So, and also, of course, data science, data analytics, 25% of them. Okay, which means only 20% of you are non-tech people. Okay, okay, great. Great. Let's see any more responses on the chat. Okay, yeah, it you can be a student, whatever. If you've chosen the right option, it's fine. Great, great. So with that, I am sure you're clear about what we're going to do in the session. Yes. So let me just quickly introduce Simplilearn to you and what we do, and then we'll introduce Roopam to you, and then we'll jump right in. Okay. So Simplilearn offers skills certifications in multiple domains, and we've been operational since 2010. And in the last 15 years, we've actually touched more than 8 million careers worldwide from people with 150 plus countries. Yes, so that's what we do, and we've got 40 plus global accreditations and 1,000 plus qualified trainers who actually help you achieve these goals. Okay, so these are some domains that we offer certifications and courses in. Of course, all of our courses have Gen AI components included, but particularly today, we're going to talk about machine learning and how this role spans out, what kind of opportunities you could take up, and yes, towards the end, we'll talk about Purdue course as well. Now, there are also some certifications in the other domains, cybersecurity, agile and Scrum, project management. You can check out simplylearn.com to understand our portfolio of courses. These are the ground rules that I just wanted to establish. Let's proceed now and introduce Roopam to you guys. So Roopam leads the quality intelligence team at Material, and she drives ML powered, machine learning powered insights for businesses, for a lot of businesses. She's actually spearheaded digital transformation throughout her career using AI, machine learning, and also business intelligence. And of course, she also had, been associated with Simplilearn. She had taken a course with us in AI and machine learning in the past. And she's really passionate about mentoring and simplifying machine learning concepts. So you're actually at the right place. And interestingly, Roopam also does a lot of other webinars as well. So maybe, during the course of the session, I will share her LinkedIn profile to you so you can follow her and also check out her other events or webinars that she organizes. Roopam, it's great to have you. I'll just hand it over to you, and then we'll quickly jump right in.
Thank you, Aparna. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I have been part of Simplilearn sessions before. I've been a student and then part of sessions, and it has simply been an exhilarating journey ever since. I started my journey with Simplilearn actually many, many years ago. So let me give you a quick background of where I come from. I am a computer engineer by profession, by education. I have been working in the IT industry for almost 23 years now. So yeah, it's a long time. And I've seen many colors of the technology industry. I come from the time when there was no Google, no mobile phones. So all of you can imagine the paradigm shifts I have seen in the technology world, all the way from the advent of internet, mobile phones, and now we are in the era of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I have worked a lot in software applications development, complex architectures, um, almost all the areas of IT industry in that one could span in a software career have pretty much been experienced by me as of now. Um, However, if you are not updated, you might get outdated.
Yeah.
That has been my motto. That is what I have been following. I did my training course in 2011. 2012, I did my PMP. 2016, I did a ISB course. 2018, I did RPA training. I am a RPA, robotic process automation certified. That's when I started seeing artificial intelligence and machine learning, IQ bots, chat bots setting in. In 2021-22, I did my Simplilearn course on artificial intelligence and machine learning, and the learning journey continues. It's been a wonderful journey. I love to enhance my skills. Currently, I'm working in an IT organization, Material. You might see it as a Material Plus. I am working here as a director of technology, leading the quality practice. And yes, as many of you might be curious about, definitely working on artificial intelligence, machine learning, Gen AI, a lot on marketing campaigns, on using Gen AI, LLMs, RAGs, model context protocols. I was looking at the wonderful audience, Aparna, we have here. Very interesting mixed group. And it's so happy to see that people, the younger generation being interested. We have students, we have people from different areas. It's very nice. It's very good to see all of you interested in learning, enhancing your skills. Upskilling is the need of the time, everybody. Really, we all need upskilling. If you have heard stories from your parents and all, that first happened when the computers came into the world. People were scared, okay, the computers might take over, but no, eventually we all learned. Then my generation learned how to handle the mobile, and now we will have to learn how to work with artificial intelligence
Yeah.
and the other areas of artificial intelligence like machine learning, Gen AI, and etc. So yeah, it's very nice to say. I would also like to add here, I very strongly connect to people who are students and freshers. My daughter is a BTech student, and day in and day out, she is also learning, electronics, communications, and AI/ML. So very strongly, I connect with you. I can see the life that you are going through as a student life, that your projects you are trying to do. So I do come from an additional background. I could connect with you, and if you have any questions specifically related to what you would like to learn as a student, where the direction that you could go as a student, depending on the BTech or the educational field that you are studying in, I would be very happy to address. But with that, if Aparna, you or anybody else have any other question that you would like to know more about me, very happy to answer. Let me know, or else we can proceed.
Yeah, I think right now don't have anything else, but yeah, we'll definitely take more questions associated with Rupam's journey as well as they come. If you guys have questions, make sure you put it on the Q&A box. And Rupam, I think, rightly set the context for today's session, which is that line which you said, you have to update yourself, otherwise you're going to be outdated, right? So, which is why we thought this topic today is going to be really relevant, because machine learning and AI is the talk of the town today. So, what we thought we could start with is get straight into the topic, which is what does a machine learning engineer really do, right? Before we talk about how you can upskill, you need to understand what this job role is all about. So, Rupam, over to you. You could break it down for the learners.
Absolutely, yes. Very excited here. Such a nice opportunity for me. It's my favorite topic. All right. So, machine learning engineers, although we are, going to have our core area of discussion as machine learning,
Mhm.
um, given my area of interest, my work, my knowledge, I would also try and join in artificial intelligence as a whole,
Mhm.
or Gen AI, or vision, or language, anything specific, or data in particular, as and where applicable. And please feel free to put in your questions wherever, if you have any query. So machine learning engineers, what do they do? You must have heard big words like LLMs, language models, RAGs, or probably you can put it in the chat. What is the most heard word that you all come across
Yeah.
when we talk about artificial intelligence or machine learning? Yeah, go ahead, put it in the chat. When you say artificial intelligence, machine learning, what is it that you know about? Something that you hear often. Is it Chat GPT? Of course, yeah. GPT, Gen AI, yeah, absolutely. AI agents, yeah, wonderful, yeah. RAG, has anybody heard about RAG? Absolutely, yeah.
Mhm.
Agentic AI, chatbots, wonderful. Quantum computer, oh my God, yeah, that's impressive. Strong algorithms, yes. I would like to hear anybody who has worked in data, anything related to data, data engineering, data analytics. Um, yeah, Python, wonderful. Yeah, data science, yes. OpenAI, Perplexity, DeepSeek, all these words. Yes, absolutely. These are the areas. These are the buzzwords that we all hear in machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data. Absolutely, yeah. Scikit-learn, interesting. Collaborative filtering, wonderful audience. Yeah. So, what do we do here? What do machine learning or artificial intelligence engineers or professionals do, really? Prompt engineering, absolutely, very nice. They write production level code to deploy machine learning models. Is that what they do? They build systems that solve real business life problems, working with data pipelines. They are running experiments, collaborating with teams, and reviewing model performance. Yeah, definitely they do all these things in a nutshell, but they also work much more and beyond. Um, it's a little difficult to encompass everything that an artificial intelligence or a machine learning engineer or a professional can do today.
Yeah.
The possibilities are actually endless, guys, really endless possibilities. But yes, to sum up in short, solving real business problems, real life problems, making our work life quality better, bringing quality to life, making it more efficient by improving cost, quality,
Mm.
timelines,
Mm.
um, intelligence. Definitely, these are the areas, or in fact, all the areas of life that you can probably think of are being and will be affected by artificial intelligence
Yeah.
and machine learning. And hence, is if there is any profession related to these areas, will also be reflecting the impact of artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We will go through some real life applications
Yes.
on the forthcoming slides.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I know again we've just categorized these into domains, but maybe you could let the learners know broadly what machine learning engineers do in all these domains, and then we could go deep in one.
Absolutely. So, what you're seeing on the screen are two domains. We call them as business areas. You can call them as domains, or very simply, these are the two areas of life you see. Okay, healthcare, medical, doctors, um, your health tests, your any machines, medical equipments related to those, medicines, chemists, everything related to health comes under healthcare. Likewise, you talk about energy, all everything that relates to energy, your electricity, oil, um, anything that runs on energy, be it potential energy, kinetic energy, any form of energy, anything, any business working in that area will fall into the energy. And on the forthcoming slides, we have more business areas or
Finance.
domains:
Yes.
finance, manufacturing, entertainment. um, so these are the major areas where you will see AI/ML being applied. However, let me share a very interesting information with you, and I will share some stories as well that you will be able to relate to. As of the year 2025, about 86%, yes, you are hearing me correctly, 86% of the healthcare organizations are extensively using artificial intelligence and machine learning for clinical, administrative, and operational functions. Already 86%. So it's probably just 14% that is remaining.
Mm.
However, the overall healthcare market is currently seeing artificial intelligence, machine learning making a very significant operational impact. Um, in a nutshell, less than 15% of the global market. So, although 86% of them are using AI in some or the other way, the overall impact, the operational impact is around 15%, maybe max 20%. But by the year 2030, it is projected that AI/ML will impact 30% or more of the entire healthcare market, driving major transformations in areas like patient care, administrative facilities of the healthcare area,
Mm.
and most importantly, decision making. You might have heard cases like there is somebody who went to ChatGPT and asked for some health diagnosis, and her life was saved. People are going to ChatGPT or OpenAI for suggestions or directions. I do not recommend that. Okay, please still contact your healthcare advisor. But things like these are happening. What are the interesting areas happening? The tradition, for example, the traditional stethoscope that is being modified with AI. Now, we will see very soon that our heart conditions, the risk of heart attack being very accurately predicted and very soon just by using the stethoscope. I myself was coming across one of these projects being done in our own country, in India. I understand that there are people from other parts of the world. But since I am from India, I came across this kind of opportunity that this is something that they have been developing. However, I will take the example of healthcare just so that all of you can connect of what an ML engineer will do in this case. All
Hmm.
right. So already you are, I'm assuming you are all aware of IoT, Internet of Technology, Internet of Things, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
For those who do not know, um, you must have all seen a blood glucose monitoring machine. Okay, a machine that measures blood glucose. You must have seen patients pricking their finger, the blood oozes out, and then we measure the blood. You must have heard about another machine which sticks on your arm,
Yes.
and it is a sensor that measures blood glucose continuously. That machine connects to your mobile through NFC for reading. Okay, so I scan the machine like this on my arm, and my mobile will show how much is my glucose reading at that level. And then I will connect to my laptop, that is web. So I am again IoT, Internet of Things, my sensor connected to my mobile, connected to my web for my blood reports, and that is in turn also connected to my doctor. If my blood sugar is too low or too high, the doctor will immediately receive an information. Now we all know so far things are happening, and if my blood sugar is too low, my doctor receives an alarm, I receive an alarm in my mobile, and then I can take a step, probably go to the hospital, go to an emergency, and take a proper medical care. Now we are adding artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other areas to this whole system. How is it changing? Now it is able to predict based on your pattern, it will predict. It will do a thorough analysis of your readings in the past,
Mhm.
and it will give you a result of your know what you should eat, what you should not eat, on eating what your blood sugar rises, on eating what your blood sugar maintains well. It will also go to predictions at a very high extent, at a personal level, which normally it is not able to do. Now my question is, there is a very interesting situation that when you're sleeping at night, the blood sugar goes extremely low. Like it falls, the lowest level is 70. Let's say it falls to 50. Okay. And the alarm starts beeping and you rush to the hospital. The doctor checks you in emergency and the doctor says your blood sugar, blood glucose is actually fine. So you identify that there is a problem in the system. How will you know what is the problem in the system, or who will know where there is a problem in the system? Who will know, if you can put it? Who can find out where is a problem in the system?
Can you guys guess on the chat? With
All right, yeah, actually the right answer is right, Tejaswini.
hmm.
Tejas, not the patient, a human.
Hmm.
Here is where the role of a ML engineer or AI ML engineer comes into place. Why?
Uh,
Where is the defect? Is your sensor not working? It means your instrument is faulty. Is your code not working? It means your code is faulty. Or is your AI giving you a false negative?
hmm.
Everything can be only diagnosed by a human. And here is where the role of really a AI/ML professional comes into picture to do the troubleshooting. That's what we call it, troubleshooting, diagnosing the problem and then sending it for resolution. And please note that this really needs a good understanding of the system. As of now, or even I don't think for a long time, AI system will be able to catch such kind of a problem, where exactly the problem lies. So this was just to give you an idea of the direction in which the human role is evolving, a machine learning engineer's role is evolving. Similarly, you can extrapolate these examples, put it in finance. You can think about the same thing in a stock market, in a trading or investment, or maybe in a fintech organization, where again AI/ML is being applied. Manufacturing, of course, where oil and energy, the rig oils, where you have the oil digging machinery in the center of the oceans. That is probably the area where AI/ML is going to reach a little late because of the logistically inaccessible area. But otherwise, entertainment, all the entertainment, OTTs and everything, AI/ML is already over there. And such are the areas, such are the examples where we see a lot of opportunities for the AI ML engineers to work in.
Yeah, I think this was such an interesting, you know, take or example that you gave, and this definitely helps someone understand what a machine learning engineer really does. And yeah, I think it's fascinating what they do. And we also have an example of how e-commerce websites work. So when you mention content, obviously, you know, content platforms, social media platforms, all of these also rely on machine learning to understand user preferences and, you know, reload the feed or kind of refresh feed every time we open the app. So yeah, I think a similar approach, I'm assuming, would happen on any e-commerce shopping website as well, right?
Absolutely. There is a question, can AI take risk in future? I could not understand. If you could elaborate on this question, please. What kind of risk are you talking about?
What's it there?
Um,
Oh yeah, can AI take risk in future as there? Okay. Um,
yeah. We will let Hamal Amir explain his question.
yes,
Job
definitely.
risk. Ha. For job. Okay, second, third. Right. This is the most, but I will let you, Aparna, I will let you take the course here. Should
Yeah,
we
yeah.
ask
So
the question right now or later?
we can take the question later because you know, we still have, maybe we can do some more slides, explain what machine learning really is, and we have a bunch of these questions actually on the Q&A box, and I was just you know, we're anyway going to cover this as we progress, so I thought we could take these questions later. Guys, if you have questions, please put them on the Q&A box, and we'll just address them if they're relevant. But right now, Rupam, over to you. We can kind of proceed.
AI taking human jobs. I am currently working in the field where this is happening and this is not happening.
Hmm.
Just like computers, just like machines replaced humans, and that particular job or that particular skill was replaced by machines, and then computers came into existence, and what humans were doing, they're writing ledgers and accounts by hand, where was replaced by computers. So that particular skill was taken over by a machine or a tool, and replaced with a human with a little higher skill level. Monotonous jobs were done by machines. Similar is the trend that we are going to see. Those are the areas. I just give a very beautiful example. Okay. Where your artificial intelligence is connected to your glucose monitoring sensor, to your mobile, to your web, to your doctor. And who will do the connection? Who will do the integration of these systems? AI cannot do it. It's humans who will have to do it. So humans were earlier doing coding, give the monotonous and human error prone work to the AI to do the coding, but yet creating the framework, integrating the systems, and I am working on this as I speak. This is still being done by humans and will continue to be done by humans. It is just the upskilling. Please, all of you, remember the word upskilling and upgrading to what the new era, the era after this AI paradigm shift will need. That is what you have to match to, and then there should not be a concern. Yes, the monotonous jobs will be taken away. Maybe there are some other areas also that might get impacted. Um, so if I were to give an example, very long text, probably people are not reading very long texts right now.
Yeah.
Even if there is somebody who is writing extremely long text, those who are reading books and novels is a different community. But otherwise, we are more interested in learning something which is shorter. All right. So if someone who is writing longer text is now giving that task to AI
Yeah.
and is replacing with a something that is a demand of the day, why
Correct.
not? Yeah. So it's all matter of upscaling.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that puts this question to rest to all the people in the Q&A box. Actually, 4 or 5 questions as I'm reading them, as to what jobs are going to be redundant and what jobs are going to be aided by AI to just become better. Right. So we're actually going to get to this point where we're going to explain how the process of machine learning really happens. So I think, you know, we're taking an example of a machine learning engineer working at an e-commerce company, and you know, over to you again to explain the 4 different steps that happen.
Absolutely, yeah. Data collection and cleaning. So data collection and cleaning, one slide is actually such a huge industry, Aparna.
Right.
So all right. So what do we do in this particular data engineering area of work? We collect the data, remove duplicate entries, handle missing values. So we just stay with me, all of you, as
Yeah.
I'm speaking.
Yes.
Uh, but imagine a huge data set. Okay, imagine a trillion data set where you have names of all the humans in India. Anybody, if you could put in the chat the current population in India, how much is the people population in India? If you know, imagine all of them in one data set. Okay, 1.4 billion. If anybody knows, that's the population of India currently, approximately 1.4 billion.
Yeah.
Imagine that whole data in one database, and what do? Remove duplicate entries, handle the missing values, convert all the data into consistent format. Now, doing this humanly, along with your big data and Hadoops and everything, is still a gigantic, humongous, monolithic job. It will take us years and years to do that. And that's where AI/ML will come to our rescue. And hundreds or probably thousands of data engineers will help managing any large size data like this. I'll give you another example. You are seeing so many AI applications which are working on voice. You can duplicate your voice, you can just write text and it converts into speech and everything. Now, in one of the projects, we needed a lot of voice data. We needed voice in speaking in English, in American accent, in British accent, in Australian accent, in Chinese and Japanese accent, and in Indian accent. Where do I get the data from? One, I will have to get those people and record that data, or I will have to use synthetic data generation using AI/ML, right? So that's one. Second, once I have a huge amount of that data, I want to use specific data. Simplilearn is a great example. When I'm creating content for training in different accents, I'm converting text to speech. So cleaning up that data, handling the missing values in that data, and all those things uh, is something that a data engineer does, ML engineer does. And there are various tools. Actually, Python Pandas is one of the examples. There are many machine learning, AI, ML softwares that now aid in doing that. But I hope with this example, you will be able to relate what a humongous data that is. One more thing I would like to share here. Um, Behind all this, behind machine learning, if you anybody could put that in the chat, what is
Mm.
the core behind machine learning? What is the what do I say? What is the secret? How does machine learning work? What is the subject that works behind machine learning? Behind data, what is behind it? How does it work? How does it do all these things?
I think, yeah, people are,
Mathematics, statistics, mathematics.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
linear algebra, statistics,
Mm. Mm.
vectors. Absolutely, yes. Maths. Yes, Sina, Sania. Absolutely. So this mathematics, oh, you don't need to learn that, but this is what goes behind your pandas and scikit-learns and the numpys and everything that you were probability and statistics. Yes, that goes behind all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go to the next slide,
Yes.
Aparna.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Logical regression, yes. Random forest, classification algorithms. This is all mathematics, linear algebra, etc., machine learning algorithms. So what do? You split the data into training and test sets. Okay, this is important, everyone. Let's pause for a minute and understand what is training set and what is test set. What is precision and what is recalling. All right. So we split the data. Or so imagine a baby and you need to teach the baby two things: to identify an apple and to identify a water bottle. Okay, so this is a green water bottle. For those who cannot see, I'm holding a green water bottle in my hand, and you are training a baby to identify a water bottle. So every time, first I showed the baby a green colored water bottle or an apple, and I said apple, apple, apple. So what is this? Training set, training data set. Now, when I show the baby again a blue colored water bottle, the baby probably might not identify it as a water bottle. Why? Because the color has changed. So now I will again show saying this is also water bottle. Blue color is also water bottle. Yellow color is also water bottle. It is holding water, hence it's water bottle. If it is empty, it is still a water bottle. What I'm doing is training data set. Okay.
Right.
And then when I am showing a black color bottle, what is that? Test set. Now, if it does not identify, I will take the data again, put it into training set, retrain, reinforcement model, if you have heard about that. And then again, test it again now with probably purple colored bottle. But now the mathematics model that you have talked about behind will eventually start identifying water bottle as water bottle, no matter what color it is and no matter it contains water or not. What do we use here in your Pythons? TensorFlow libraries, Keras, Scikit-learn. These are the primarily, there are many more actually, but these are the primary ones you might have heard about that we use here.
Got it. Got it. Should we move to the next step as well, which is hyperparameter tuning? Yeah.
Oh God, this is a very interesting topic, hyperparameter tuning. Once the model is trained, the next step is to optimize it by adjusting settings like learning rate or number of trees to improve accuracy. A slightly technical explanation here. We are going a little bit into the details. So what do? You can use tools like grid search or random search. For those who are from the statistics or mathematical background, you would be able to understand this. And for those who do not, but if you, whenever you go through an AI/ML course, you will get to learn how this works. But the bigger question is, as an ML engineer, or a lot of you are from the computer science background, software technology, do you need to understand a grid search or a random search? What does it mean and how does it work? To some extent, yes. It really depends on which field of profession you will be going into. And if you are going to work hardcore on LLMs or data models or machine learning algorithms, then yes, you would need to understand these areas. And then we have scikit-learns and TensorFlows for more complex models like these.
Right. Right. Got it. And I think the last step was the actual deployment and checking, monitoring. Yeah.
Sure. So you got the data, you did that hyperparameter tuning. Now your model is finely tuned. Okay, it's time to deploy it into production environment. Please remember the training set and testing set example I gave it. So where it can make real-time predictions. It's good to understand this with an example. I will take an example of a city, London.
Okay.
Let's say real estate property in London, buildings in London, apartments in London. Very good example, apartments in London. So the data, the training data or the test data we used on our model was the different apartments, the property rates in London, the size of the apartment, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and lot of training data was given to the model. We did thorough training and we did thorough testing. We did hyperparameter tuning and we optimized it. Now I go to the model and ask, what is the property of a 2 bedroom apartment in Singapore? I trained the model on London or London and New York, but I'm asking for a price of an apartment in Singapore. Will the model be able to predict it? The answer is yes. How accurate it will be, accuracy is a different parameter to be measured, but it will be able to predict it because we have trained the model in a way that take this data, do an analysis, then do your research on the rest of the properties in the world, do your mathematical calculations, and now do a prediction. Okay, so that's what. After your training, you make the model available for people by deploying it. So I created my model based on London, New York, maybe New Delhi, but what about users? When I put it on production, they can ask questions about Singapore. All right, so that's what. When we deploy it, we have a live system, then we monitor its performance, ensure it works well, retune it as needed. And what do we use? Some examples of tools that we use are Dockers, Kubernetes, AWS and GCP, Amazon Web Services, GCP. These are cloud for those who know what is cloud, platforms. These are used for scaling and managing the infrastructure. This is a little technical topic. If there is time at the end and if you have a question to understand what is Dockers, Kubernetes, K8, we write it as, or AWS and GCP. I'll take it at the end.
Sure. I think,
But remember this point, because on the next slide, we have a slide where we understand how integrated systems work. That's where this will help.
yeah, absolutely. I think you beautifully summarized these four steps of what happens really in building machine learning models. The first step you mentioned is to prepare the data, to make sure data collection is, is happening. And then, of course, model development, training the model. The bottle example was I think, kind of made it clear for everyone. And then hyperparameter tuning, and then, of course, towards the end, deployment. So I think these are the four steps that broadly cover what a machine learning engineer does. And yeah, so if you can combine, I mean, if we could just summarize what a machine learning engineer really does, I think it's right to say that they should have some coding skills, some data science expertise, obviously, the domain knowledge and, the problem solving ability. So I just want to highlight or ask you one thing as well. So how important is, the technical expertise such as coding skills, Python, R, and knowing all of this, understanding data science compared to knowing how the domain works? So how important is one over the other?
Understanding the concepts, there are two things
Hmm.
I cannot press more about. Two
Mhm.
things still important. Understanding the concepts, the core concepts of coding is very important. And two, understanding how the integrated systems work when it comes to technology or information technology, how the integrated systems work, understanding their system architecture. On the previous slide, we read names like Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, GCP, how those integrated systems work, that is important. And the second, again, concepts of coding.
Right.
People who are not in the core IT technology field of work, who are more in the data science or any other area, maybe content, maybe marketing, but still using artificial intelligence, or maybe teaching, maybe any such areas, maybe application of artificial intelligence, you are using a stethoscope which is AI powered. Still, it is important to understand AI ML. And I will give a very good example. um, let's finish what is mentioned on the slides and finish the question that Aparna has asked. So coding skills: Python, R, TensorFlow, PyTorch, data science expertise, industry knowledge, and problem solving ability. Yes, yes. Oh my God, I can't stress more on this. Is really very important. And now, please, all of you, connect to the point that I mentioned 3 slides before. When you were asking me, is there a job risk? What was my answer? The monotonous, the easier jobs have
Hmm.
been moving to machines, and the more human intelligence kind of jobs have been moving to humans.
Yeah.
And now, if you say problem solving ability, no, so it's an enhanced human skill, probably machine may not be able to do so easily. Okay, star disclaimer, will AI be able to do in future? I don't know. But yes,
Right.
earlier, if I was working in a bank, I needed to know about the bank and how my computer operates. If I'm working as a software developer, I needed to know how to do my coding. But what is the need of the time now? Coding plus data science plus industry knowledge plus problem solving ability. Everything is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. I think we'll just pause a bit to take some questions. I know we're going to talk about, the skill set that is required for an ML engineer, which is what I think a lot of learners have put. Okay, what should my roadmap be? What should my skills be? What should I be learning? But right now we've covered what we're going to be doing. But one basic question, that a lot of learners have is, how is data science really different from machine learning, or how an AI engineer is really different from an ML engineer? If you can just answer this one question before we proceed.
See, very good question. Please understand two broad categories, or let me make 3 broad categories of how the work profile will divide into.
Right.
Those who are working behind the scenes and creating systems
Mhm.
which will be either AI powered or created using AI. and allow me to explain. Okay, basically you are people who are working behind the systems, who are creating the technology systems. You are creating a robot, for example, a robot which has machine learning, data, artificial intelligence, everything. But you are working behind the robot. You are a part of the creation of the robot. That is one profile, one job profile. Second is those who will apply the robot in an industry. Okay, so I am going to apply a robot in a Amazon warehouse where the robot is going to pick large boxes from one area and put it in another. So I am also going to interact with a system which is AI enabled.
Yeah.
I need to understand AI or whatever the robot is working on. If it is working on ML, I need to understand that to some extent. Person who is creating the robot, or maybe the robot's hand or the robot's body, will also have to understand how that system works. And now who is the third person who is going to, in the end, use the system? Who is going to use the system? I'm a warehouse owner. I am giving my warehouse on rent. And in my warehouse, Amazon says, okay, I will put 100 of my robots, which will do these and those tasks, but I will have to provide them electrical charging of the robots. So I have to develop a warehouse system accordingly. So everyone is impacted. How?
Right.
A very interesting example. Again, let's expand the robot to manual robot, just a hand, robotic arm. What is it? Is it Gen AI? Is it working on images? It is working on videos? Is it working on language? Or is it working on motor skills? This is an area of motor skills. All right. There is another good example of robot, which is your ChatGPT. ChatGPT is working on language. NLP, natural language processing. So a lot of language is going, all of the languages are going into it. What kind of processing does a LLM model do? The model behind ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, primarily on languages, text and video, and probably voice as well. What does it do? How does it work? You will have to understand that if you have to work in this field. You will have to also understand the nuances of this. What is the nuance? If I'm speaking something, if I'm writing something, humans can write in lakhs and thousands and billions of ways. Is the AI interpreting it correctly? You have seen AI making mistakes and how hazardous they are turning into. Those are the areas that your profession, the ML engineer, AI ML engineer, Gen AI engineer, NLP engineer, you will have to understand how does it work, what are its nuances, and how to handle that. That is one example. Another example, you are working on healthcare equipments and there is AI behind that. You will have to understand how that AI model works, how that machine learning, if it is using machine learning, how that model works. If you are working as a manufacturing a car automobile industry, how that AI works, what are the nuances? I gave you an example of the healthcare industry. Okay, accuracy. One, accuracy. Second, precision. Third, hallucinations. Fourth, errors. Fifth, false positives, false negatives. These are only few areas where AI could go wrong. A very interesting example, ChatGPT 4 had a very interesting problem called as psychophancy.
Right.
For those who understand Hindi, psychophancy means chaplusi. And for those who do not understand Hindi, psychophancy means talking in a way to please the listener. I
Right.
want to make you happy, so I will change my speech in a way that you're happy. They had to literally roll back that model. Is this an error? I don't know, probably. Yes, probably no. But the coder or the designers behind, if you are the one, you need to understand that it is doing that, and development needs to be done accordingly. And this is, developer is a very small area. A data scientist is involved here. Um, what do you call them? Electronics engineer is involved, production is involved, all kind of professionals are involved in making this one whole system, right? And those who are into the teaching profession, this is what you will be teaching in your colleges, in your PhDs and MScs and BScs. So yes, it applies everywhere.
Right. Okay, I think we could just jump right into this particular skill set that someone needs to gain. And people are interested in understanding where to start. I'm just kind of highlighting this because we have a lot of questions on the Q&A box related to this. So in case you are a complete beginner, to machine learning, this is probably, your explanation, your go-to explanation. Rupam, I'll just hand it over to you. We can proceed.
Yes, yes. In the interest of time and the slide speaks for itself, I will
Yeah.
just quickly touch upon, these are the different programming languages, machine learning algorithms, data processing, deep learning frameworks. You can just note down these words. Python, uh, C++, Java, these are very important. These are the languages, coding languages at the top right now. C++, everybody, those who are students, you might still be learning C++. It is not being so much used in the application industry, but my daughter is learning it and I will highly recommend, please understand why, because understanding the concepts is very important. That's what will help you in your careers. TensorFlow, Keras, and these are all deep learning frameworks, libraries, and etc. Data sets, etc. Docker, Kubernetes, Flask, I will explain this. Cloud, this also I will take up on the next slide.
Yeah, sure. But I guess this explains if someone wants to take a screenshot will actually be great. I'll just wait for a couple of seconds for people to take a screenshot because this pretty much summarizes, what you should learn, and not necessarily maybe in the same order. Probably you should start with programming languages. Someone should start there. Rupam, is that correct?
A typical, all right, a typical AI ML training course covers this at all levels.
Right.
If it's a small course, it touches upon all those. And if it's the in-depth course that I took, it covered all these in great depth. And let me share this with all of you. I am a computer science student, but my mathematics was not that strong. But
Right.
the real estate example I gave you, the voice example I gave you, I can now understand how k-means algorithm or your SVM algorithm connects to that. That clarity I have, so that's important.
Right. Got it. Great. I think we can just proceed probably to the next slide. Okay, learners, if you've taken your screenshots, yeah, a lot of them have. Yes, we've come to the point about what the course covers in a while. Yeah, great. The next slide is actually another very interesting slide about job roles. I mean, some examples of current job roles, which I think Rupam will explain the best. And because, yeah.
Thanks, Aparna. All right, so this is a very interesting slide, very dear to my heart. So everyone, what you are seeing on the screen is 10% of the actual, real job requirements I see right now, as we speak today. 10% of those. I have a list multiplied by 10, but I thought I'll just give you a gist of the job requirements out there in the market. Data analyst, data engineers, full stack engineers, MLOps engineers, data architects. So I think this connects to all most of the population, most of the attendees we have today.
Absolutely.
Majority of you fall in this field.
Yes.
Experience required, I have also shared.
Yeah.
What is the important takeaway? You all are working in different fields. Some of you are from the mathematics background, students, working professionals. And if you look at the experience required and the skills required, your college education, your working knowledge, working experience plus AIML knowledge is together converting into the last column, which is experience required. So, for example, if I'm talking about MLOps engineer, 4 to 6 years, this person has worked on machine learning, but how many years? Maybe in 6 years, this person might have worked on machine learning for 2 years, but he or she also has experience on Docker, Kubernetes, pretty much the same thing. And in addition to that, this person would need to know Python, AWS, GCP, which we saw on the previous slides. So
Yeah.
all of those experience will integrate into one complete role.
Right. Got it. Understood. So obviously, this is a much concised version of the current job opportunities that are available. And you can see the amount of uh, expertise that is required, what kind of demands there are for these roles. And this is what it can open you up to as well. Someone was asking, what can a data analyst do? What should I do if I'm a computer science student? Whatever, right? Whatever your question is, these two slides actually pretty much answer everything, what your skill set should be and what your job opportunities are, right? So this is exactly what we wanted to cover in terms of what a machine learning engineer does, what the skill set is needed, and what kind of job opportunities to open up to. And another thing that Roopam was kind of really excited to cover was how ML engineers really collaborate with cross-functional teams and how that's going to happen in a real-time situation. So I think, Roopam, you again will have a lot of examples from your own experience. So I think I'll hand it over to you again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Cross-functional team. So again, relating back to the question, will AI take away my job? And if not, then why not? This is where the human will picture. This is a very simple example of cross-functional team. The real life cross-functional integrated system is much more complex. If I were to give you a verbal walkthrough of how a system looks like, your cloud, your API, your microservices, your backend database, your ETL, your user interface front end, for those who are not able to understand, all right. We all are working on computer systems, internet applications, and all that. Okay. Think about an applications, Instagram, if I may take the example, or any similar, which is working on your mobile and working on your web app. And you are also getting the notifications on your smartphone, any other device if you have. How does this whole system work? And where does human come into picture? Where does AI? And why? What is the work which AI cannot take away? First of all, what you are seeing connected is web, cloud probably, your mobile and your smartwatch connected. That's are the 4 5 things that you see. What is that? Okay. There is product management. What you are seeing, Instagram or mobile or a smartphone is actually a physical product, but there are software products also. Okay. UI UX is user interface. Basically, what you see on your screen. Right now, what you're seeing on your screen is your UI, user interface. This is also created using technology. Engineering, what goes behind? Data, all the data that you're using. Imagine the data that Instagram has. Other than this, systems integrate with XML, API, vendors, database, ETL, microservices. Your code is there. I mean, I probably may not even be able to take the names of everything that goes behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And working cross functionally across these technology areas and cross functional teams that manage this is what humans will be primarily doing.
Right.
And this is I'm explaining in short. Okay, so that is a very complex area that humans will continue to rule.
Right. And also, one more question which I asked you before the webinar as well, which also came up as a very interesting question. I know you answered that, knowing the domain is important, but how important is understanding the business needs, knowing the business language, apart from, all that's listed here?
Very interesting question. Let me explain that with an example because I think everyone can relate to. We
Yes.
all have seen, hopefully not experienced, car crashes, car scratches, car dents, or
Mhm.
simply a car paint pulling off. Now,
Mhm.
here is an application, a mobile application where you take picture of a problem on the car and your application identifies if it's a scratch or a dent or a crash impact, how deep is the impact and how much, what will it take to repair that and approximate cost. For this, your application will need to have artificial intelligence, machine learning models that are running behind. As you can imagine, this is more about videos and images. So you can understand what kind of, is this the language processing? Obviously, no. Is this Gen AI? Probably yes. So you can relate to what kind of LLM model will run behind this kind of a mobile application. Okay. So to coming back to Aparna's question, do I need to understand how the business or how the domain works? Now, if my coding is taken away by AI, GitHub Copilot is doing all my coding. Probably my developers did some kind of framework and integration of the system. Technical architect did a lot of work. Why do I need to understand the domain?
Hmm.
What if it's a sunshine or a street light shining on your car, reflecting as a scratch or a dent? You
Hmm.
need to understand the business, you need to understand how car scratches work, you need to understand if the scratch or the peel off is because the car is old or because of a crash.
Right.
For this, you need to understand the business. Extrapolate it to repair. What kind of repair will it do? Does it need painting, denting, or does it need to go to the shop? Does it need to go to the junkyard? You need to understand the business to be able to apply the model and for AI to be able to predict it.
Correct. 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 Great. Thanks so much for addressing that, Rupam. And right now we've understood how machine learning engineers actually collaborate, but we also have a very interesting question for our audience right now, because you guys have been so curious to know what a machine learning engineer does, what's the process like, and you also understood how a model is built and deployed. That's just the basic steps, right? So what we want to know, and also the audience on LinkedIn and YouTube could kind of let us know this. I'm just going to launch this poll. Okay. Which of these, if imagine you're a machine learning engineer already, which of these would be your dream ML engineer project? Sorry. Would it be building a recommendation engine for Netflix? Would it be creating a chatbot like ChatGPT, developing a self-driving car, or predicting stock market trends with AI? So let us know your which would be your dream project. And remember, obviously, you can do all of these as a machine learning engineer, but which would excite you the most? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A
That's
significant portion of self-driving cars has already taken the market in the US.
yeah.
And recently, I heard a news where a Tesla car crashed itself in order to save a human pedestrian. All of them, I like that answer.
Yeah, all of them. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
For those who are choosing recommendation engine for Netflix, this actually expands to entire OTT, and I have had the fortune of working on testing. Hold your breath. IPL matches streaming. So IPL matches when they stream, your Geo cinemas and all that. We were working on the streaming of those, testing of those one day before. Wonderful experience, and then we would get to watch the real match.
Hmm.
But yeah, on the other side, we had to watch that on 100 devices at the same time.
Right. I think, yeah, absolutely. That's actually amazing.
So,
And
yeah.
And with this poll, I'm just going to share these results. Not many people want to build a recommendation engine for Netflix. A lot of them want to build a chatbot. I was hoping, the last option would be the most popular option, which is like predicting stock market trends. But anyway, I think the audience wants to build ChatGPT. Okay, interesting. I'm just going to keep the poll live. A couple of questions that we could take before we proceed ahead, to the skills that are required. So Amit has this question: when choosing between machine learning and Gen AI LLM model, what should be considered? If we can use an LLM model on a data set, is the output less reliable by any means?
Can I see the question, please? Where is it
Actually,
mentioned?
there on the Q&A box, and if you would want me to copy paste it, I can actually do that. One sec. Just doing that on the chat. Yeah.
In choosing between machine learning, Gen AI, LLM model, what should be considered? If we can use a LLM model on a data set,
Hmm.
is the output less reliable than a ML model? It's a very good question. It depends on the case. It's really case to case basis. What is your requirement? What is your business? What is your specific location? It really depends on all that. So giving a generic answer is really difficult. If you have a specific case in your
Yes,
mind,
yeah, I think that will help. Yeah, understood. So maybe Amit, if you can just repost your question with full-fledged case. Another interesting question that came up, I think I will copy that as well.
the other thing is things don't work in silos. If you think about chat gpt or any such large ai operated system, think about Tesla as a car. Do you think it is working only on llm, only on gen ai, only on machine learning and not anything else? No, the behind the scene what goes is a very large integrated and complex system. So they don't work in silos unless the system or application is very small.
Right, absolutely. Another question that came up, I'm putting this on your chat as well. How do you see the role of explainability and transparency evolving in AI models, especially as they become more complex and are used in critical decision-making areas?
Sure. Again, large language model, coming back to that, or Gen AI, um, they are also models which are learning and improving. So segregation of areas is difficult. And coming to this specific question is, how do you see the role of explainability and transparency evolving in AI models? Transparency in AI models, especially as they become more complex and are used for critical decision making areas like healthcare.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay.
Okay, got it. All right, I think we could just continue with the session now. I'm just going to end the poll and also stop sharing.
You're a fan of Marvel. Did you see the latest Marvel movie? See, the explainability question is not answered, Aparna.
Right.
Um,
Sorry, yeah, please continue.
Transparency and explainability of AI is a very complex question. See, we build LLM model with certain understanding and certain logic, certain algorithm to begin with. And then you have talked about CNN, neural networks. Now we are uh, imagine it like a baby, a child, and the child's upbringing. We brought up the child first 5 years by teaching the child certain things, good, bad, morals, values. Beyond that, the child will start training itself based on the data it is getting and based on the optimization, hyperparameter tuning, and everything that we learned about. That's how it will start developing itself. That chat GPT 4.0 psychophancy is a very good example. It went into that direction to start speaking in a language to please its readers, its users. It had to be stopped and brought back.
Hmm.
Why? Because we could stop it. We could stop and retune and optimize it. Imagine if it goes to a level where it is beyond human control, or maybe you cannot retrain it anymore. What will happen at that point? That is truly hypothetical because we are too far from that, and we have already seen one human example where we saw it going in the not so correct direction and we brought it back to the right direction. So, what you are talking about is a possibility, but yet a hypothetical scenario. There have been people who are saying that at some point of time, AI may not be transparent enough, may not explain you everything in the detail, or the explanation it might give you will be manipulated in the way to make you believe it. But that's again a hypothetical situation that we might occur, might come across in future. However, we still have human guards in place. You have seen the Sam Altmans and Mark Zuckerbergs changing their AI to make them go in the right direction. So I believe in that.
All right. So I think we'll just proceed with the session because I know there are a lot of questions, but we also are running out of time. A lot of learners are kind of waiting for their certificate. So people having questions, just give us, we might not be able to address all of them because this, again, answers, there's no one definite answer to all of the questions. Each question just requires it does require, an elaborate explanation. So if you do have questions, what I can do is maybe you can email them to me and I can pass it on to Roopam and she can address them later as well. Right. So the most important question that we want to address now is, where do you start if you're new to machine learning? And I think we addressed that in the previous slides as well. You should build a strong foundation in programming, understand data science fundamentals, then of course understand machine learning algorithms and real world projects as well, and of course expand your knowledge with specialized courses like the one that we have, which is the Purdue professional certificate in AI and machine learning. So Roopam, if you can just break down the course curriculum as well for the learners, just to help them
Yes,
understand.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
very, very simple areas. I personally been through a similar course. Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, Machine Learning. Here you will get to learn all the basics, including the data area as well. Um, it will also include deep learning, neural networks, ANNs, CNNs, AI model training and optimization. So some of your linear algebra, expressions in mathematics will also be touched upon along with hands-on experience. So that even the practice session also progress in a way that the training sessions are evolving. Then as we go ahead, it starts getting deeper into more um, clearer concepts of the basics, including machine learning algorithms, natural language processing, and I believe we have other areas also in capacity.
Hmm. Correct. Absolutely. So this is how the course is structured, but remember that while you're doing this course, it will also help you if you kind of develop your foundation here. And by foundation, again, we mean programming, solid foundation programming as well. Although it will be covered in the program to some extent, just will help that, will give you that head start here. Right. And this is how the course really helps you understand all these concepts and eventually take up a job in machine learning or data science or whichever stream you want to head into. Okay, so with Simplilearn's professional certificate in AI and machine learning, what you get is also projects that you will be working on along with course and assignments, which will offer that additional insight on how this is applied in a real situation, how this is applied in a business case. And of course, someone had this question about how Simplilearn and Purdue are collaborated here. So with Purdue University Online, you have access to master classes that are delivered by Purdue University faculty. And these live classes for the modules that you saw are taken by the trainers that Simplilearn has had, right? What you have is, of course, the live classes along with community support sort of a system where you're also interacting with other learners and also a cohort manager who is able to guide you throughout your learning journey. Okay. And another thing that we offer is the Simplilearn Job Assist. And this is slightly different in India. For India learners, it's called Job Assist Plus. For learners outside India, it's called Simplilearn Job Assist. The only difference being how your resume is, enhanced. So with Job Assist Plus, we use an AI-powered tool to do that. With Job Assist, there's someone actually helping you understand how you can refine your resume and eventually take up jobs. This is by no means a guarantee of sorts. We're assisting you in finding the right opportunity. Okay. And yeah, because we have collaborated with Purdue University Online for this course, you will have access to Purdue University's alumni network, upon completion of the program. So this is how your certificate will look like. Okay. You earn a program certificate and jointly offered by Purdue University and Simplilearn. Okay. And all of these live classes are accessible to you through a learning management system where you can access your recordings. Let's say you miss something, all the self-learning content, all of that is available there. Okay. And just to give you a sneak peek of what happens in Job Assist, you get group mentoring on how you can uh, what jobs you can pick up, what are the others doing, interview prep, helping you understand how you can optimize your resume, and also with mock interviews. Okay. So along with just learning the aspects of machine learning and AI, and what we also offer is how you can build a career around it. We support in terms of that. Yes. So these are some success stories, from our alumni, and you can check these out. And in fact, more videos out as well on our course page, which I will share very, very shortly. You can take a look at these learners' journeys and understand how they leveraged the course as well. Okay, so in case you're interested in enrolling in the program, let me just quickly launch this poll and help you understand how you can enroll. Sorry, before I show the Simplimentor GPT, I just want to show the enrollment steps. What you do here is you click a yes on the poll, and someone will contact you. A learning advisor will contact you based on whatever your application is, whatever profile details we have of you. And let's say we feel that you're good to go, you can start learning the program the next 1 to 2 weeks. So this is the fee. The program fee is close to 1,90,000 rupees at a monthly installment of 8,507 per month. And these are our financing providers. Okay, so I'm just going to launch the poll right now. And remember, you will be contacted by a learning advisor. So in case you are interested to enroll, you can select a yes. And if you are in India, you will be contacted tomorrow morning. If you're anywhere, say in the US, you will be contacted in the next few hours. Okay. Right. So another thing that I wanted to show you was, how the Simplimentor GPT can help. So a lot of you learners had this question about career roadmap. The course is not free. Okay, the course is not free. I showed you the course fee, but the Simplimentor GPT that I'm about to show, that is free. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Fatima and everyone else wondering what other resources do we have that can just give you a head start apart from the Purdue course, right? So let me just help you understand how this Implementer GPT helps. All you have to do is to give GPT a prompt, and yeah, so what I did here, if you can see, is I just gave this prompt for myself. Okay, so I'm a marketer with 6 years of experience. I want to know my entire learning path. Now, take a look. It's exactly what we covered today. And it will give you a 6-week learning plan, how you can start, what you should do in each week, also resources, free and paid both. Here you go. Okay, so take a look. Want help customizing your resume as well? Someone wanted to understand if we can give a resume. We don't have a typical resume here, but in case you are interested, you can actually explore Simplimentor GPT. Let me just share the link to the GPT here on the chat, and you can explore it whenever you want to. With this, I've also ended the poll that collects your interest. Okay, actually 54% of you have responded, which is great. Sharing this message on the chat box. Okay, so nobody is missing a message. Yeah, amazing. Great. So that's how you get started with the free resources. Remember, I said when you stay till the end, all your questions will be answered one by one. So we did answer your question about what does a machine learning engineer do. We answered this question about what skill set is needed, what kind of job roles you can take up, what your learning path should be. And yeah, all of that was covered in this session. So in case you still have questions, please make sure you put them on the Q&A box. And apart from, of course, what we covered. So I'm just going to, yeah, a couple of questions for you, actually, Roopam. Maybe I'll ask the more interesting question, which is, so among all the work that you've done, obviously there would have been challenges in deploying a model. Which was the most challenging part, or say, which was the most challenging project that you took up?
Most challenging project in terms of artificial intelligence was in the earlier days when our models were still earlier in developing phase and the data was not enough. So tuning the model, training the model and getting the right data. So I will tell you an example. We used to have incoming invoices, bills. Okay. invoices and bills were coming in from three directions. Those people are still having their handwritten bills. Some bills are in digital bills, and we were receiving them from different vendors in different sources. So the e-bills or the handwritten bills had to be converted by OCR into digital format and then processed using natural language processing, machine learning, of course. Our accuracy was under 50% at that time. Machine learning model was not able to read or interpret the bills. 3 would look like 8, 8 would look like E, and all those confusions were there. We had
Mm.
to work on training the model, fine tuning the model to an extent. We finally took the accuracy to 65%. What I'm saying is, out of 100 bills, 65 were accurately predicted by the ML model. Still 35 were not inaccurately, but kind of, out of 35, 20 were still, dicey, and 15 were totally incorrect predictions. So that went for human reviews. But we could reach accuracy of 65%.
Right.
How much was the data? Oh, huge number of bills. Health insurance claims, huge data.
God. Okay, that must have been really huge. Right. Actually, that's probably the most challenging part. Yes. Also, another question related to someone's learning journey. So, let's say they are not, you also mentioned that, maths was not really your strongest forte. So, how can a person, if they don't have any AI/ML background, or they also don't really have not really had maths as their strongest subject, how can they crack into these fields, or become, say, an ML engineer, or say ML ops engineer, or a developer? How can they do that?
The beauty of this topic is that the jobs are extremely versatile. As I explained, it is all the way, you work in, simple example, designing, developing the AI model along with the machinery, the software, the technologies, or you work in the middle area where you are using it, or you are in the end user, the customer, the one who is going to get benefit. You can work in either of these three fields. If you don't understand mathematics too much, you can work in some other area, and the possibilities are endless actually. If you want, do you want me to give specific examples? Like, I take my example. I don't work in any machine learning optimization per se. I
Hmm.
work in its application area.
Right. Got it. Got it. I think that answers question. So, another question that came up is auto ML replacing ML engineers, or is it just another tool that is coming up?
That's a very tricky question.
Mm.
I don't think so. No.
Right.
It's a very vast field, and things will continue in different areas.
Okay.
Just like computers have spanned the whole world until AI impacts the whole world, different types of fields of work will continue to exist.
Got it. Another very interesting question, actually, which I wanted to take earlier also when we were discussing model development, is how to be good at guessing important features and making good questions regarding the analysis. How do we become better at that?
By taking a training course. Short answer, yes. But that is the answer. Learning how the particular model works. If you
Hmm.
are going into Gen AI, so when a course like this or any course, I'm not particularly. Please don't assume that I'm here to market this course. Any AI ML training course, for that matter, first will give you width of understanding, and then I should decide which particular depth I need to go into. That's what I did. I understood, so of course I do understand mathematics. I understood data science, data engineering. I actually hard coded and learned Python after 20 years of IT experience. I did my coding. Understood Gen AI, reinforcement learning, CNN, neural networks, everything. And then I decided which field I would need to go into, and that's where I went into the depth. You could see that I'm more often talking about Gen AI and LLP, NLP,
Hmm.
RAG and MCP, and those are, the application areas where I work. So
Hmm.
that's what I picked up as my area of work, and I went into depth.
Right.
That's what. But yeah, how do you start with? How do you know? via training courses like this. I have developed that, you will develop, anybody who goes through learning will develop the logical ability which a human has to be able to apply. Okay, if it is like this, then this must be the issue, or if it is like that, then that must be the issue. That logical thinking we develop.
Hmm. Understood. And also a couple of questions related to coding. Okay. I know you can give a straightforward answer saying no. But some student says, "Good evening, ma'am. I'm Aryan. Coding is not my interest. Can I learn ML without coding?" And someone else has a question is, should they learn, or should they pursue AI and machine learning instead of full stack development or cloud?
Absolutely, yes, yes. If you don't see, again, you need to understand the concept of how the integrated system works if you are working in IT. If
Right.
you are working, I'll give you a very good example, a marketing campaign. You must be receiving emails from different organizations, institutions in your mailbox, which are marketing emails, right?
Hmm.
Those will, how do those work? Those work on AI. They run an algorithm behind, right? To understand which email to be sent to which user. Now, creating that marketing campaign on the basis of AI ML, applying some algorithm, applying some logic, you don't need to understand coding for that. That is another area of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. I think I'm just going to again take a pause on the questions because we've actually addressed most of the important questions. We have actually covered bases, most bases again with your explanations throughout the session, and of course, with your detailed answers. So just to re-highlight the enrollment steps, I've shared the link to the course page. Just make sure that you're entering your details on the course page as well, in case you missed the poll. Just head to the course page, drop your details on the form, and someone will reach out to you as well. Remember, the next cohort starts very, very soon. Actually, we're taking applications only till the 4th of August, which is till Monday. And your regular classes start, 9th of August and end on the 15th of February. Okay. So these are your class timings. And of course, this may change. Looks like it is an outdated version, but yeah, I think, but the applications are, valid only till the 4th of August. Okay. Right. Another very quick poll on people asking for certificates and recording. Let me just quickly launch that poll here and take the last few questions as I launch this poll. So remember, guys, although all of you are, accurate with your names, some of you may enter the name of your phone or your email ID or any other incorrect detail, and your certificate may get missed. So make sure you have entered the accurate detail here so that you receive the certificate and the session recording. Okay. Yeah. So with that, I think, okay, one last question to wrap up the session. I know there's still a lot, many unanswered questions, but unfortunately we have to wrap up, guys. We'll just wrap up in the next 5 minutes with just this question for Roopam here. One off-topic question, ma'am. Who's your inspiration?
My inspiration, all right. Actually, my inspiration is a very cliched answer, but it's my elder sister.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my elder sister, my mother is no more, and my elder sister is 13 years elder to me. She is a doctor. She's a diabetes specialist, and she has taken up AI learning because she wants to understand. She is actually a retired doctor now, and she has looked after me like my mother. But she never stops learning. She did her MBBS, then she did her, after being a MBBS, she did her MA psychology. Now she is learning AI. Incredible energy, incredible woman, very strong. Anytime I feel I am short of breath, losing hope, losing determination, I go and talk to her. She's my inspiration.
Amazing. Great. Thank you, Sanya, for posting that question. Sanya is a very enthusiastic webinar participant. She actually did talk
My
about.
daughter's name is Saina. My daughter's name is the same, so
Right. Amazing.
I could
Glad.
relate.
Yes. Okay, that's a great question to end the session with, actually. And Roopam, I wish we could continue. I know, there's so many interesting questions that I can see, and I want you to answer them, but we have to really end the session, keeping in consideration the time. But it was great hosting you, listening to you, and I think I definitely learned machine learning today. I mean, learners can definitely resonate with me on that. So maybe a quick yes or whatever you felt about the session would be great. Just let us know, how much you enjoyed the session, whatever your thoughts are, if you can put them on the chat here, right? And I'm also ending the poll. She talked about the certificate here. So would love to know your thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. I think more than the
It's a
presentation.
passion. It's a passion. It's my interest, or it's the journey that I've been through. I mean, when you feel okay, it has helped me. It should help more people, as many as that kind of empathy feeling that you have in your heart. I think that's what really drives me here, and I'm so overwhelmed to see the questions, the energy of this group.
It's just,
Incredible. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's the energy was unmatchable. I think I was having a tough time handling the questions. Like I said, apologies to all the learners who posted questions. I took some of the most interesting questions and I just wanted Rupam to answer that. We didn't really answer the repetitive questions because we addressed that towards, throughout the session. So in case you miss something, you want to hear something again, you can always revisit the recording. Okay, definitely. Yes, we will collaborate with Rupam very, very soon. Again, thank you for that comment as well. And you guys don't have to post anything on the chat. You will receive your email tomorrow containing the recording and the certificate. All right. So with that, let me end the session here. In case you have any more questions about upcoming webinars, please post your queries at webinars@simplylearn.net. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Rupam. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.